Can you share like a little bit about yourself and like the type of shoulder pain you were experiencing before working with us?
I mean, obviously in management right now. I was working in the field in the HVAC field for many years, in management now. But my shoulder, issue was like I said, it was new to me. I didn't know what was going on. But now that, you and I have worked together, I've kind of found out that I was doing a lot of the same workouts, same stuff, and it kind of just caught up with me. I probably was not stretching enough. I probably wasn't doing enough cardio to keep things moving. Definitely not enough mobility work. Um, just kind of, um, a little bit of that journey I've been on now with you for a little bit kind of was an eye opening, um, time, for me to kind of look back at, like you said before, as you age, you definitely got to treat your body and do things a little bit differently. Otherwise, you're going to be feeling some pain.
Absolutely. What were some of like the, biggest challenges or frustrations you faced with your shoulder before we started together?
The unknown. The unknown was, what's going on? Why is it feeling like that? I was kind of upset at myself because I got into a position where I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know. That's why I started looking around. You're probably one of the first people I reached out to. I did reach out to one other fella, but I started on a program. I don't even know what it was called, but it wasn't like your program. Um,
What do you feel like
Different.
what do you feel like was different about those?
It was very. I think if like I said, only did like maybe one day of it. It was very automated, very a task based. You didn't talk to anybody. It was very a little bit too electronic and too automatic for me.
Sounds like a
I
cookie
need to talk.
cutter, like a set and forget type thing is what it sounds
So
like.
yeah, I need to, you know how it is. You need to talk to somebody once in a while to find out this or that, and because you can't put everything in your mind and what we talk about into a program. Say, hey, do this. Contact me at 3 months. And let me know. No, it's not going to work. So that was the difference between the two programs.
I love
And
that.
that's why, like, came back over to you and just kind of, like I said, I was into an unknown territory where my shoulder was bothering me. I know I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I still do pretty well for my age. And I figured I just got to do something different because it was hurting me, and I know I was frustrated because I like to exercise and work out and do all that stuff like that, but I was very limited.
Yeah, and like, what did you think about like the structure of the program and like, the functionality of like the app and using that?
The app's very easy to use. It's very easy. It's step by step. You do the exercises. You have the example video on there I watch. If when I saw a new exercise, you kind of give me that little 30-second video, whatever it was, to show you how to do it. And then you jumped right into your sets, work through it, logged it, it's documented. At the end, it asked you if it was easy or not hard and everything. So a lot of them were pretty easy because probably wasn't supposed to be hard. It was just to get you to move in different ways. And
Absolutely.
is very easy to follow and very helpful.
Absolutely. What like improvements have you noticed since like starting the program? And like, can you think of like any specific changes in like the shoulder pain or mobility?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely do more than I could, what was it? Probably at least 2 months now. I could definitely do more now. I can, obviously raise my shoulders up and do this. It don't hurt anymore. Remember, I think when I talked to you before,
Oh,
you
yeah,
were
you can
kind
go
of
to
trying to see
100%.
far I could go and all this stuff. But
Oh, yeah.
now it's good. It's a lot better. I do notice a little bit of stiffness in the morning, and that is probably part of adding more weight to it. I'm do a little more volume of free weights afterwards too, so,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, definitely feeling better. Obviously, I learned a little bit more about your body with your expertise. I think it was a good combination.
Like that. What would you say to someone who's like hesitant about starting like a virtual shoulder rehab program?
I would definitely recommend it because it worked for me. Because I mean, I wanted it to work. I was driven. I was positive about it. It did the work, did the exercises, put the reps in. And that's what I would say to them. You gotta put the work in. Rehab is rehab. Therapy's therapy, and it's not always easy. It's gonna be a little painful to get stuff moving the way it should get moving. And find the right program that fits you. Find the right program that fits your schedule. Everybody's schedule's different. And find the one that you feel comfortable with, like you. If you take the time to talk to you, if you give the material that you understand, so it's kind of start to finish with a whole program that fits your lifestyle.